You gonna bleep that N-word or what?
No,
But-
that's disgusting.
Sorry. Well, I figured you're a comedian. You
No,
like
you
a
don't-
good fart joke.
But that wasn't a joke. It was just a fart.
Okay, guys, so we're gonna be watching this video from the Good Rant called Mark Norman's Most Awkward Podcast of All Time. Okay, so we're gonna be watching this. I watched it a little bit, honestly, and I just had to, I had to put my commentary in there because it's just like it's such a ridiculous thing where it surprises me that David Cross could be this sort of, I guess, like he gets hurt easily. Maybe it's the fart stuff that Mark Norman does and all the I guess he does some gross things, right? I mean, obviously, like if you fart in front of somebody that you don't know, you're gonna surprise somebody in that sort of way, and a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people can't handle farts, they can't handle burps, they can't handle anything sort of that comes out of your body, right? Well, but we're gonna watch this video because I thought shit was hilarious, and like I said, it's from the Good Rant. Again, it's called Mark Norman's Most Awkward Podcast of All Time.
You gonna bleep that N-word or what?
No,
But-
that's disgusting.
Sorry. Well, I figured you're a comedian. You
No,
like
you
a
don't-
good fart joke.
But that wasn't a joke. It was just a fart.
Hey guys, so we have a fun one here. This happened a few months back. Mark Norman was on the David Cross podcast, which turned out to be a rough episode for both parties from start to finish. This thing had it all from farts to burps to awkward silences to casual N-word drops. That's right, Mark Norman likely couldn't wait to laugh about this afterwards. Now let's take a look at these hilariously awkward moments. When I say awkward from the start, I mean that literally. Mark walks in and for some reason there's this odd back and forth about where Mark is gonna sit.
Hey, Dave.
Mark, nice to meet you.
Meet me. What you did by phone?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So right away, he's like, "Nice to meet you," and he's like, "Oh, we already met. What are you talking about? Did you forget?" And also, look, I think personally myself, I think farts, burps, they're funny at times when they're placed pretty well. It's like a end of a of a punchline, right? Put a punchline right, like appropriately, you're gonna have some great laughs. But also, I'm not gonna deny there's other people that hate that shit, right? They're not fans of the physical stuff, right?
What?
You saw that.
The hesitation? Well, you.
No,
What do you want to
yeah, exactly. You just made an assumption, I think. That's all right.
I did.
But go ahead, sit there.
Sure?
I'm not sure if I've ever seen such an unnecessarily awkward exchange, but we're all here for it, of course. David says, "Nice to meet you," but Mark
Wait a minute, come on, that's really awkward, man. I mean, I've personally had some awkward interactions myself with some people that I've first time met, and honestly, it has happened to me before where I'm like, yeah, dude, we've met before. I'm like, oh shit, I'm so sorry, dude. I just didn't. You look different now. That's my excuse, right?
points out the elephant in the room, which is they've already met months before on his own podcast. It's weird, but we can forgive that. But wait, he has done this before.
Yeah, you tell people you never met before.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, so you're like crazy. So you're like a crazy person. And you're like, oh.
I don't think you're crazy.
But-
That wasn't my.
It's because he's old. That's why. You fucking forget. Your mind just be slipping.
I
No, I'm not
think
saying
it was
you
like.
said that.
Well, we'd never met before, so.
We met once.
Oh, we did?
You did my podcast. You did my food podcast.
Oh, son of a bitch! I remember that.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
You know what's the problem too? He probably didn't make an impact on David Cross for him to remember him. Like, I think that's also my issue too. It's like, if you don't do anything memorable, most likely you're gonna be in the void of my brain, right? People that capture my attention, they start to stay in my mind for a while, right? That's the thing I usually tell people is like, I'm so sorry if I don't remember you the next time I meet you. But no offense, right? No offense. Just you just probably were a boring dude.
Fun.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I'm sorry, James.
It's okay. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Oh, I do. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was 1 hour into this episode. At least this was right at the start though. So I guess he forgets people a lot and also doesn't bother to Google who's coming on his pod. But who cares? He's David Cross, so maybe he feels he shouldn't have to. Anyways, Mark naturally goes to sit in the chair next to David, which triggers this weird reaction. David weirdly points out that Mark made an assumption. I mean, why would Mark go and assume he'd sit in the chair next to David? What a weirdo. Obviously, he should have known that David was gonna move to the other chair and that he should take David's chair. It's not rocket science, but it's okay. They just need to relax, get in the groove of the conversation. A few minutes go by and we're having a nice chat. Mark is describing the city where he's from. He's talking about the general demographic, but David steps in to call out that Mark could be offending people with his choice of words.
It's southern, but it's very super progressive, black, gay, but very industrious too, but still kind of.
When you say industrious too,
Well,
I
they
don't
got
know if you-
skyscrapers.
Right. I think you
Is
want to
that
be
the wrong
careful. Yeah, you want to be careful about saying it's got black people and gay people,
Yeah.
and also people who work hard.
Well, I don't mean like that. I mean like it's a
I know you
booming
don't. That's why I'm
metropolis.
Hold up. This is also funny too because of David Cross and his history. Like he used to have a show with what's his name, Better Call Saul. That it was like freaking frankly very offensive back in the days, and now he's like gonna be the arbiter or the white knight of, hey, hold up, buddy, you're a little offensive right now. Yeah, I can see why this might be a little annoying. And then I think maybe also like Mark Norman's like, what the hell are you talking about, dude? You used to do a show, you know, with what's his name? I forgot. I forgot his name. The guy from Nobody. I forgot his name. Bob Odenkirk. There we go. Bob Odenkirk. That they used to do a show that was crazy, like freaking like it's funny, but it was, you know, it's outdated and people might find it a little bit offensive. But it's still funny regardless. But then now it's like, David, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, it's not like you're older now. He's like, you know, you know, things are different now. It's like, you got to be careful now, you know, because they might cancel you because of you saying some crazy shit like that. But maybe also he's trying to be funny in a sort of way. Maybe it might be that also sort of thing, right? Cause, you know, because coming from him, it's like, it's kind of a funny thing for him to say, knowing who David Cross is.
Clarifying it for the audience.
Yeah.
So
Now, keep this clip in mind. David is obviously very cautious about offending people. He says it as if he has a lot of sensitive viewers who could think that Mark was implying that black and gay people don't work hard. I doubt anyone would arrive at that conclusion, but no worries. Let's put that second awkward moment in the past and move on. The conversation picks up nicely again, and by this time, Mark is thinking, okay, you know what? We're past the awkwardness. Now we're relaxed. The conversation is flowing, at least better than it was before. David is in the middle of making a boring point about Nashville. I couldn't even describe what he was saying. It was so boring. Mark's legs are shaking because the boringness is making him anxious. And so he figures, well, things aren't as bad as they were before, but it's not totally relaxed in here.
Okay. Also, look, Mark Norman shaking his legs doesn't mean also because what David Cross is saying is making him anxious. I shake my leg all the time too. I just have anxiety too. I have to move something. I have to move some sort of limb, right? Have a lot of these freaking unlocked energy that I need to like release, right? And so I think Mark Norman, I think this is a little bit like, from what I'm trying to say is like the way that the Good Rant is speaking about the shaking of Mark Norman is like, yeah, look at him. He's like, he's a little too like he's a little too much like anxious. Nah, I mean I do that shit right. I'm doing that shit right now, and I'm watching a video. Am I anxious? No, it's just that that's just how we are. That's how just people are. And then some people try to say like, you're anxious, bro. Look, whatever I'm saying to you, it's causing you to like shake your legs and stuff like that. I'm like, no, I just do that shit on the regular. You here or without you here, it's the same shit. But I get it. You know, like Mark, what's his name? The Good Rant has to be some sort of analytical and be like, yeah, look at him. His legs shaking. You know, he's licking his lips. Like, what does it mean?
So let's fix that. In Mark's mind, nothing works better at lightening the mood than letting one rip.
because I think initially I was going to stay down there, and then I ended up staying somewhere else because the hotel rates were insane. You know. But man, what a fucking nightmare that.
Sorry. Yeah, it's a nightmare. I'm with you on that one.
I mean, that was a good one.
Oh, we lost Cross. All right. I had I had an egg wrap earlier. The egg, it'll get you. Sorry, I should have given you some warning there, but I think I tilted it to the right.
If you gave me a warning, I would have said you go out.
That's a good point.
I'm not gonna clear.
He was like, "Hey, man, chemical warfare right now. Should have told me beforehand that you're about to blow one out. All right." And look, I understand David Cross. He's not comfortable right now with Mark Norman and the way that he is personally, right? Like, it's different if you have a friend that you know for a long time, right? And they fart. You can forgive that. You can forgive them for that. But when you have a guest, a guy who you sort of also don't even remember meeting, right? Like, this is also the thing beforehand, right? Like, he doesn't remember meeting you. And then you just, like, I guess Good Rant's like trying to lighten the mood. It's like some people I will say, like, if you do that shit in front of me, I'll laugh. All right? I'll laugh at it. But if you do somebody that just hates fart humor or anything like that, they are gonna be so upset about it. And trust me, I've had some people like that. I've met some people like that, and they've given me their explanation. It's like, of course, yeah, like, hey, I wouldn't do that to you. Why are you doing that to me? Basically, the bottom line of it is,
Emma out of here. You're the one who needs to go out and fart in your own
Roll it
face.
back.
That's fucking disgusting.
Sorry. Well, I figured you're a comedian.
No,
You
you
like a
don't-
good fart joke.
But that wasn't a joke. It was just a fart.
Well, fart is
You're a comedian. You'd like a good fart.
a fart is a joke in itself, is it not? It's my butt made a noise.
My
that is true though. That is true though. Like, everybody says comedy's subjective, right? And even you don't have to say a joke like verbally, like vocally. You don't have to say a joke. You can do a joke physically. Like, there's also that sort of comedy, right, where you're just like, Charlie Chaplin, for example. You never spoke a word. All he just did was physical humor, right? And you understand that was comedy. But also, yeah, like, I think David Cross maybe might be a little too upset about it, and he's taking it too personally, and he's just taking it. He just might be forgetting he's a comedian, right? But I don't know, man. Like, I don't really watch David Cross's like a podcast. Like, I don't know his threshold on shit, right? But I would say that you guys are both comedians. I guess you should understand that Mark is trying to break you, and this shit really got to him. I think Mark Norman knows how to break him, and I think he's gonna keep poking at it. I don't remember how this video ends, but maybe this might be the sort of the adventure we go into.
guess is Mark was so bored and so over this podcast that I think deep down he was hoping that this would either lighten the mood or David would get offended and tell him to leave. Both those outcomes would be preferred, but sadly David does get offended and sits right back in his chair and keeps the fun podcast rolling. Now personally, I don't find comedians farting very funny unless someone gets offended. Then I'd say it's worth it. That won't be the last time Mark's lack of etiquette.
What? Wait a minute. Good rant. Exposing yourself here a little bit. It's funny because a person, I mean, it's also, yeah, like, of course, if you get somebody to get annoyed by it, it's even more funnier. But the main thing about the fart, it's funny already. And then whoever reacts to it, it makes it even more funnier. That's what makes it even more funnier. You know, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about that, okay?
Pisses him off. A while later, Mark burps in the middle of a sentence and David is once again offended.
So, you know, and I wouldn't be at the place I'm at now if I didn't.
That's true.
So, yeah.
Well, you're a rare breed where you can do the silly stuff. Where you can do the stand up, but you can also paint yourself blue.
What the fucking?
That's me.
What?
Did you miss?
He's like asking his assistant, like, what's up with this guy? You got this guy? Did you get this guy as a guest here? What the fuck? I told you specifically, no guys that burp, no guys that fart.
No time or something? What happened? Did you
Bro
not get to
time.
watch the
I-
football game yesterday?
I don't watch football.
Well, that's all right. Why don't you start watching football, and then you could save all your burps and your farts for the game.
All right, I
With
didn't know
your-
this was tea time over here at the Cross residence.
It's
What is this, Downton Abbey? Huh? Etiquette class? But sorry, it won't happen again. That's the last expel of my body.
I mean, here's the thing. It's not that you farted or that you burped. It's not. It's this. And then
Okay, here comes the cope, right, guys? Here comes the cope, or like the deflection a little bit.
and then with the and then I.
Yeah.
So there's a way to do both of those
I
things.
see.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you an only kid?
No, older brother.
Oh,
I gotta say though, that fart that David Cross did was fucking majestic. That shit just he just one upped Mark Norman with his ass, which
of course. Well, there you go. There you go.
What does that mean?
I think at this point, he's just trying to annoy David for his own entertainment. Now, can this podcast get any more uncomfortable? It's approaching the end. David Cross is thinking of this episode as a write-off, maybe something they'll bank for the future to fill in an empty week, or maybe he'll pretend they lost the footage, so he's thinking, I might as well drop the N-word.
look at all these assumptions from the good rant. You know what? I would never put myself in putting assumptions on there. I think assumptions are loser thoughts, right? Why are you? I mean, come on, man. Like, why are you assuming this shit? You don't even know yourself. Like, what's the purpose of you assuming, other than getting other people to try to think about what you're thinking about, and then probably also, sort of making a narrative there, right? I wouldn't want to do that. Like, all you see right now is what you see right now, and you don't know more than that you know about. You only know the base level of what's happening right now, right? Which is like, I mean, David Cross is trying to sort of match the energy, right? I think Mark Norman came in with a fucking energy that sort of got David Cross, he put him a little bit off guard from it, right? How free and open he was. And then I think he hit him back, obviously hit him back with that tremendous fart there, to try to catch up with the vibe, right? But it's also like, it's still sort of like, I guess, because David Cross is like, he's the more veteran comedian, and he's trying to sort of teach the younger guy, who is Mark Norman, of what is really funny, what makes things funny. And I think that's sort of the spin that David Cross is trying to make there,
to spice things up.
All the hip hop guys were getting there. They would go visit this like old Southern racist guy on his porch in Georgia or wherever, and it was basically, he would take their lyrics, and he's like, oh, niggas ain't shit, but da da da, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then they would all sit there and listen and write it down, and then they go.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
That's a great sketch.
It was a good idea.
You gonna bleep that N-word or what?
No, because it's the A. It's the AH.
I don't know if that flies.
Yeah, AH.
Okay, it's your show. See,
It
to
is
me,
my show.
that
look,
worst-
it's all fine if David got the N-word pass. If he gets his N-word to come in and confirm the N-word pass, and we're all good. Never know. You never know. With me, some of my best friends are black. I get like 10, 20 passes at a time. Just kidding.
that's
Maybe
worse
not.
than farting.
I disagree. I don't think, when you're in the context of this idea, I think you should be able to communicate it as it's intended.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
I'm not a big proponent of that.
David Cross is the type of guy that would sing the N-word, with the song. He's like, why do you put the N-word in there with a catchy ass song if you don't want me to freaking sing it? Okay, that's their fault. Okay.
Like if you're literally quoting somebody, then
Yeah.
you should quote them. You should say that. And if you have a issue with that, then good. You have an issue with it, and it makes you feel a certain way.
I'm not offended. I just worry about people getting mad at you.
Oh, that's fine.
All right.
No, I think also Mark. Look, this point of view now, Mark as a guy who's also very edgy at times, he's just trying to sort of, I guess maybe like get David a little bit riled up too. It's like it's like sort of a competition now on who's gonna be passing the vibe check here, right? And they're both trying to get in the door at the same time, but trying to get in the same door at the same time, it's hard, right? It's like they call it the Three Stooges syndrome or something like that. I don't know, really.
I respect that.
It's fine.
Good
People
for
are
you.
always, somebody somewhere is always going to be mad at me.
That's true.
That's fine.
That's true.
Mark, I'm going to have to wrap it up because I am parked on 17th and 4th.
Yep, on that note, after me dropping the N-word, I just remembered I need to move my car before I get a ticket. So yeah, this is done. We don't need to pretend to enjoy this anymore. I'm just gonna leave now. Mark's reaction at this point is gold. Clearly he's thinking, did I really just hear him say that? Again, it's impressive how casually he says it. Mark correctly points out—
Wait a minute. Are you woke now? Good Rant? Are you woke? What's up with that? Wait, what? What's up with that? What? I mean, it's on context, right? I mean, David Cross said it's all due with references and context of why I said the word. What's the problem with that? It's like, you read Tom Sawyer. Are you gonna read it like how the book says, or you're gonna just put in the you're gonna put the hard R in there. You're gonna put you're gonna finish it off with the A, right? Because you're woke, huh?
that, wait, you're offended by farting and burping, but you're casually dropping the N-word in conversation. I mean, I know context matters, but it's still bold. Remember,
Okay, there we go again. Good Rant. You have a clear sort of bias on who you like, who you don't, right? Obviously, what David did was, I mean, you didn't even show it. You didn't even show the context of what it was. What's up with that? Why are you hiding the context of what David Cross said? And based off of what Mark Norman did, like out of nowhere, it's just started farting, right? I mean, why didn't you just show what they were, what David Cross was talking about, and why he would reference the N-word, right? Why are you not showing that clip? I think you're trying to like sort of put in a one-sided narrative because obviously you're trying to make this story more targeted towards David Cross and hate David Cross and how he reacts compared to Mark Norman, who's very immature at times, right? But all of a sudden now, like, the N-word is like a big problem to you?
pointed out Mark's choice of words could offend someone, but yet he's later just dropping the N-word. Not the first time he's done it. He's included the N-word in his material before.
This is a naked female
So, okay. So, there you go.
devil with big tits flipping the bird and spreading her legs that says, "Yo, nigga, where my paper be at?"
Anyways, let me know in the comments if David should have the N-word pass. I mean, he's got the confidence for it. He might already have one, actually. I found this on Amazon. Maybe he gets a monthly delivery. If you enjoyed this, hit the like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.
You're gonna.
Okay, so what David Cross was trying to do this whole time was trying to catch up to Mark Norman, right? Mark Norman came in hot. Like literally with a hot fart, like a hot like burp and shit like that. And you know, David Cross was like, "Oh, I thought you were this type of comedian. Like I was trying to take care of you at first, right?" And then he saw like, "Oh, you're really comfortable, right? You're really comfortable with me. So why shouldn't I be comfortable with you now, right?" And then now Mark Norman is saying like, "Hey, are you sure you don't want to edit that part out where you said the N-word?" It's like, what? So what? I say this shit all the time. Like, have they canceled me yet? In the end, the Good Rant clearly put a clip where David Cross obviously referenced the N-word there, right? So why would David Cross right now be afraid of getting canceled, right? Because obviously, if people did have a problem with him saying the N-word, which are mainly like, I mean, obviously black people will have the problem with that. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's trying to, right? I think what the thing that happened here was that David Cross got Mark Normand. Mark Normand really came in hot, not knowing who David Cross was. And he's sort of like, obviously, like, he forgot who he was. He forgot, like, oh shit, we met before? And then also Mark Normand came in and tried to be comfortable, right? So then David Cross hit him back with, hey, let's be really comfortable then. Right? Maybe you shouldn't play games like that sometimes with like certain people, right? I think that might be another issue that maybe you guys haven't like sort of captured, right? Obviously, like, nobody, I haven't heard anything about David Cross or anybody from being black, anybody that's black or anybody that has a problem with it, him saying that word, right? Obviously, maybe he does have the N-word pass, right? Some like some other people do, like you don't have to be black to have the N-word pass. They just obviously give it to you. Mexicans can say it, like people that, you know, black people that are like, hey, you know what, we have gone under the same struggle, or he knows how we struggled. And also the way he said it, it was based off references, right? He's not just clearly going out there and just saying it racially, like as racist, like as racially, like as racial, like being, he's not saying it to be racist, right? He's saying it as a reference. And where you start being like a bit of a fucking, a little bit of a like a douchebag, is like trying to like not compare the things, or trying to like make sense of the context of it, which is like, no, he's white and he can never say that. He can never say it, right? But that's what we have a problem, right? The Good Rant wants you to make David Cross be the bad guy. But it's also too, which is funny, is like, you know, Mark Normand came in as an asshole right in the beginning, and he had to put up with him for the majority of time, right? And all of a sudden now he flipped it on him, he switched it on him, he spinned on it, he spinned the jokes and shit, and then all of a sudden now the Good Rant is a little offended by it. But he wasn't offended by the farts and the sort of, like, for example, the way that he would, like, because a lot of people do consider like farting and burping rude, right? But you guys are comedians. What do you care? You guys are funny. You guys should know about this, right? I don't know, guys. Look, there's a lot of things to like dissect from this. I think sometimes from the Good Rant, he's gonna give you a certain sort of narrative on what the bad guy is or the person you should shit on. And I think you should start thinking a little bit more outside of the box, because I see some of the clips that he does, some of the videos that he does, and it somewhat seems like it. It seems like sort of this sort of point of view where I want you guys to make this guy the target, or this guy the antagonist, right? But forget about what Mark Normand did in the beginning of the video, right? I mean, it wasn't so bad, right? It wasn't so bad. Mind you, at the same time, David was trying to protect him in the beginning, saying like, hey, you know, you think we should cut that or this or that? And then when Mark Normand gave him the green light and being like, so what? Who cares? And then Mark Normand's like, David Cross is like, okay, so we're going to play that game. Nobody gives a fuck. We're all comfortable here. All right. Nobody's offended. Let's start the game. Right. So, all right. I'm done here, guys. Let me know what you guys think about that. Right down below under the description of what you think about this video. Like and subscribe as well. And I'll see you guys for another video. All right. See you guys for another one. Bye-bye.